Hey guys, welcome to another episode here on CrossFit Garage. My desire is to help you build a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finances. The motto of the gym is we are happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now as well as in our 90s. And so these things have to come together. So I say fitness, yeah, because we're a gym. Food, because, I mean, really, if you're not eating right, you're just messing everything up. I really probably should throw in rest, but I can only talk about so many things or put it in the title. And then of course, if you're going to live into your 90s, you better have some money to take care of yourself, because being fit but poor in your 90s is going to suck, or being super wealthy but very unfit is going to suck as well. So we want you to have all of that stuff. Okay, so I'm recording this in November. We got a lot of cool things happening at the gym. And this should come out right at the beginning of December, so you will be able to see sort of what we're doing. If you're getting this from one of my emails, then you also see the outline. I'm going to talk about some of the things that are happening, but I'm going to caveat all of this with this starter. So I am doing a goal review. So for those of you in the gym, you should get a text from me every once in a while. It'll say something like, hey, it's time to do a goal review, or let's talk about your goals. Give me 3 health and fitness goals and 1 that has nothing to do with that. What I'll do then is take it, put it into a Google Doc, and then I and you will go through that Google Doc and we will discuss your goals. So I had a great one last night and this morning that I've been working on, and the goals that Timmy put down are awesome. And as we explored them, we found that they're not actually the goals he really wants. So at least that's what we're gonna, I think, well, this is what I am finding. So we'll have to wait for him to reply. But so for example, one of them was practice and prepare for Murph. So Murph is an exercise. It is something we do on, usually it used to be 4th of July, now it's Memorial Day. So it kind of moves around, but anyway, it's to honor a fallen hero, and it starts with a mile, ends with a mile run, and then there's 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats. And as a thing to do, it is cool. As a mountain to climb, it is cool. As an exercise that'll get you fit and something that you should actually do, it's really dumb. It is got too many repetitive motions, and it is way too long. So it pushes outside the boundaries of what CrossFit is here to give you. And it's got a gymnastics component that most people can't keep up, the pull-ups, for that many and that long. And you end up with a lot of blown up biceps from this. Not blown up as in like disaster, but it's just not, it's gonna hurt. So I know I'm gonna shock many of you when I say this. Well, first tangent. I am driving to Auburn right now, so my schedule got yanked sideways, but this is important for later on. You need to understand what your values are so that you do the things that you're supposed to do correctly, and the things that when you die or on your deathbed, you're like, I am proud I did them. So I'm in the car with you, you're in the car with me, I guess, and you're gonna hear a little bit of road noise, and whatever, it's okay. You still can hear my voice. Podcast will be just fine. Maybe I'll ask my brother to run it through some AI tools or get some of the road noise out. But here is my point. So I don't do Murph, it's not good for me. I do the other stuff. CrossFit's desire is for you to use intensity and constantly varied functional movements to get you fit. When you do outside of that or extra, you're actually, it's like doing I'm doing the paleo diet as well as the eat a lot of carbs diet at the same time. When you mix the plans, it messes things up, okay? So understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Why are you doing CrossFit? What are your primary goals? So in this particular goal, it didn't actually come down to I want to be better at Murph. It was my left arm is a little bit weak. I'd like to be better at push-ups and pull-ups. And Murph is just a great expression of that. So then we start asking questions, and we're going to probably find out that, like all of us, when somebody else cares about you and they ask why a couple times, it forces you to really think about your why and why you're doing these. So I had planned for today, I usually do on Thursday, I have blocked out about an hour and a half to do content production. So it's a podcast, it's YouTube videos, whatever. Sometimes it's actually recording it. Sometimes it's actually just writing down a rough outline. Other times it's, whatever it is to come up with this. But in my force ranking of life, the way above many of the things I do, work, fitness, etc., is family. And I've got 2 kids at college. And while I love my dad immensely, and I know he did the best he could with what he had, he was learning from a man that in our terms would have been broken. And while that, my grandfather did the best he could, he didn't really have a great role model. If I remember right, he was adopted, or his mom, his father passed away and his mom remarried, something, but there was a sketchy upbringing for him that then trickles down, right? So I think my dad did a great job with the tools he had available to him. He is the one who led me to the idea that if you think it, you can make it a reality. So think and grow rich, or where there's a will, there's an A. Just this whole idea of there's more to life than just living out what somebody else wants, okay? But he is very not great with the expression of love that potentially his children need, because the love language book wasn't created then, and he gave us what he needed, and it's not what we need. So sometimes it's hard to understand, hey, do you love me? Now, as a 50-year-old man, I totally get it. A lot of my perspective has changed. I know my dad loves me. And Dad, if you're listening to this, I know you love me. Do I wish you called more? Sure. Do I wish we hung out more? Sure. But you give me what you can, and I'm okay with that. I don't ask for more. Like I said, I'm 50. Your little boy's got gray hair and children and problems of his own, right? So I know you love me, but in addition to the tools that you gave me, I am taking those tools and trying to level it up for my children, and so they see a better or maybe a different example of things that they can do. And so I say that to get to the point of know your priorities. So Timmy's goals, he has a goal listed that really probably isn't his priority. And as we go through some of the other things, he's going to find out that work is taking a lot of his time. And it's not that work should be more important than fitness or health, but maybe it should. Or maybe it shouldn't take, health and fitness shouldn't take a back seat to everything he does at work. So we're going to work through those things together and help him force rank it and say, where does this fall? What do you want? What means more to you, right? And there could be some harsh truths that come out of it. It could be, you know what? I actually don't really care about my health and fitness very much. I need a better why. I need to understand better. I doubt that's the answer. Probably the answer is going to be like everybody else. The answer is going to be, well, I do care, but I literally need certificates of appreciation, that good old fashioned cash to make life go. So I've got to work. Okay. Now, can we set up some realistic boundaries or some guardrails to help those things occur? Can I actually do work as well as take care of my health and fitness? So there could be some easy things. And man, I know I'm about to suggest something is going to be, you guys are going to cringe, right? Maybe CrossFit or coming to the gym isn't the answer, right? Maybe you're in a phase of life where it just isn't possible. Yeah, so I'm driving, having a conversation with you and drinking a little bit of coffee. But here, many people ask me, hey, what's the best thing I can possibly do for my health and fitness? And literally the best thing you can do is the thing that you will constantly do. So even if it's just, I got out of my house, I jogged to 6 mailboxes down the road, and tomorrow I'll do 7. Great, do it, right? So the backup thing here, though, is force rank your life and understand where it really falls. So my daughter said, had a really tough week, and she is the type of person that needs to know that I love her. And so I have figured out, and it may not be great, but I have figured out that one way I can express my love for my children that are not at home is to ask them every Monday, hey, when can I come see you? And a lot of times it's, Dad, it was last week, don't come see me. I'm like, that's fine. You know that I'm trying, right? So this will be about a week and a half since I've seen her, and I know she had a rough time. And I said, I'm coming to see you. She's like, I don't have time. I'm like, I am just going to come down there. I'm going to buy a cup of coffee. We're going to sit and talk. I'm going to give you a hug. And then I'm going to come back home. She's like, fine. And so I think she either said fine or fine. Oh, Dad, fine. I don't know. But what I do know is this is going to last with her. She will know that there is at least one man in the universe that cares that she does better than I ever did. that she succeeds more than I ever succeeded, that we'll drop everything to make sure that she steps up a foot, even if it means I step back a mile. And I think it's important for you to meet your kids where they need to be, and for you not to forget that, man, what was it like when I was in college? And what was it like when my parents never came to see me, right? So don't ever surprise your kids at college. I hear that's a big no-no, but do offer it up there, right? So when I went to college, it was kind of funny. And man, I'm just saying this is how it was. I don't feel bad about it. It's just how life was, and I get it and whatever. My dad remarried and had my sister Justine, and I was a senior in high school when Justine was born. And I love my family. I love my sister. I wouldn't change it for the world, right? This is where we are and how we got there. And but I went to college. And it was like, see ya. I had the Hope Scholarship came out. I was a co-op, so I really didn't need, and I lived in the fraternity, so I really didn't need money from home. And so we really didn't see each other or talk to each other that much. There weren't cell phones. You had to actually dial people up and catch them at the right time. So it was a little bit different and awkward, but it's just how it was. So I think maybe they came up to school once or twice, maybe 3 times. Of course, I went to Georgia Tech, so I was there for 6 years, not 4 years, because you apparently can't get an engineering degree in 4 years. Who knew, right? But anyway, so you were in the car with me because I have force ranked my stuff. Timmy, who has his goals, and he's looking at them going, hey, I work 12 to 10 hours a day from home. I'm like, okay, is that what's expected? We're going to go through this. Is this what is expected? Your commute time is 5 minutes, right? Could we wake up earlier, come to the gym early? I mean, for me, that's the secret of success is go to the gym at the beginning of the day, because if you do it at the beginning of the day, you can't, life can't get in the way. And it is way more important for you to take care of life than many other things, right? So even for me, so I left him a voicemail or a video mail or video text, whatever, and my day got rearranged. First priority in my life, well, maybe not the first. One of the highest priorities in my life is my children stay alive. So Evie is 15 and she is learning to drive, and I want her to drive well. So every day she drives me to her school, which is about 20 minutes away. She is driving a Ford F-150, and it is super scary. But after 3 other children, I'm a better co-pilot. So if you guys have kids that are coming up and you need help coaching them to drive, let me know. I can coach you to coach them to do better. So with me being less frantic, she has done a lot better than the other children. Anyway, it is super important for her to have time in the car. So when it is time for her to drive, she's like, yeah, I got this. I've been doing 20 minutes a day for the last 180 days. So whatever, 200 times 20 minutes. So that's like 42.7 hours of driving time, whatever it is. So she's got hundreds of hours of driving under her belt in various stages with distraction, me having conversation with her, with podcasts, with music, and I can talk to her through these things. So it is super important to me. So I must get her to school with driving, right? Or let her drive me to school. And I'm not going to sacrifice that. It does mess my day up. I don't get to do my normal schedule that I've had for the past 4 years. So that anyway, I end up going to the gym a little bit later, totally fine. It's still during the day and get it done. But today I knew that I was going to change my schedule to get out to Auburn to see Olivia. So there is a park on my way home from her school. So I went to the park and ran. Well, I didn't really run, you know me. So I walked for about 2 minutes. That was my warm up. Then I jogged for 20 minutes, and then I walked 2 minutes back to my car. So that was my workout. I know today's workout actually is 400 meters in a plague run a bunch of times. So weirdly, it was kind of similar. But my point is, health and fitness is important to me. Man, I own a CrossFit gym. I don't need sugar. Yeah, this stuff is important. But there are other things that come above health and fitness. And I know that if I'm stacking days upon days upon days, then I could have even skipped and the world wouldn't have ended. Everything would have been okay. Force rank your life. So I'm going to help you kind of do that with some of the things we are doing coming in the new year. So here's some things. I know this is going to be awesome. I am talking into a mic that is lapelled to my chest, and I am driving in 75 traffic. Fortunately, it's 75, and to get on 285, you can only go 5 miles an hour. So it's really slow and easy. and I am going to look at some of the notes that I had printed out to make sure I tell you the right stuff. We got exciting stuff. It is going to be starting in 2024. January is coming. And if you've got friends that want to jump on board, sure, they don't even have to come to the gym to do this sort of stuff. You could do this in the privacy of your own whatever, your own home, your own office, your own cell phone, or you can text with me or ask me to help you out, or Laura or any of the other coaches. But it's going to, anyway, let me just read through some of these. So on January 1st, everyone hopefully will be coming back to the gym. It's January 1st. Everyone's like, yay, let's get this thing done. Now, I think that's awesome. Come to the gym. That is great. What I don't think is awesome is when you stop coming 2 days later. So come. What should your goal be for 2024? At a minimum 3 classes a week, right? And then if you can't make it in for the 4th one, walk, do something. Now, I would put 5 days on the calendar, knowing that one day is just going to get messed up. Block it, put it into the calendar like I do, like 8:30 a.m. is now my workout time. Sometimes I have to cheat on that because life, but I am okay with that. And as a coach and owner of the gym, I am totally okay with you doing what you need to do. So you can ask anybody that I'm coaching when they come in a little bit late. I'm like, dude, I am just glad you were here. Give me a hug and jump on in and warm up. They know that. And it's totally fine. Life gets in the way sometimes, but at least you are trying. And if you consistently stack up these days, you're going to do great. Now, not every day is a move hard day. Sometimes I get in there and like the other day, it was rope climbs and hang power snatches. I went lighter and did hang squat snatches, and I only did 1 rope climb. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's what I've got today. My shoulder feels a little bit weird and I want to get below parallel. So this is what I'm doing. Yay. So know yourself. But okay, so the first thing, January 1st, we are going to do a thing where it is, I'm going to say challenge. I got to come up with a better word. There's no real challenge. It's to challenge yourself. It's a competition. It's a you go you. I don't know. It's something like that, right? So the first thing is going to be get 50 grams of protein in before lunch. Man, that is going to be tough for some of us. So I cheat by putting 2 raw eggs that my chickens give me every day into my smoothie. I may bump that to 3 raw eggs. That's going to increase my protein count by a bit. I may even try, I'm going to get weird, I may even try putting some pre-cooked ground beef into the smoothie and blend it up. I know it sounds gross, but here's the thing. I am totally okay eating for sustenance and not for entertainment. And once you kind of break that chain, you're like, yeah, whatever. It's what I need to do to be better. And you can do that. So anyway, we're going to do that for 2 weeks. You are going to try to eat protein. I will ask you to track it sort of. If you know what you're doing, then just write it down. Or if you need an app that's as good, it's going to be an entry drug to the app because we're going to do something with that app later on. Then on January 22nd, we're going to do our New Year Bring a Friend. So just like we did back in October, but it'll be for New Year. And you guys just did it. It'll be very similar. Bring people in. Then on February 1st, we're going to do a 2 weeks of tracking my food. So I use an app that Levi put me onto. I think it's called mynetdiary. And you can use whatever you want if you're already on MyFitnessPal, or we have Trainerize. You can log in there. I don't really care where you log as long as you're logging it. So it'll be 2 weeks of logging your food. I have learned that, that I needed my butt to be humbled. So Levi said, log your food with me, Dad. I was like, sure, why not? I just did a podcast with Jordan, and he's like, yeah, Jamie was telling me log my food. So who knew your wife would be right? So Jordan started logging his food, and he has dropped something like, I think he said 20 pounds just by logging and being aware of what he's eating, and then changing some of the time frames, time domains that he eats. But that's what logging does for you. So I would encourage everyone to give it 2 weeks. You're going to learn something about yourself. I think more importantly, what you think you're eating isn't actually what you're actually eating. So it's really easy to log food. You can scan the codes on the back, the little barcodes. If you're eating packaged food, if you're like me and most of your stuff isn't packaged, then you can do a little guesstimate. But even when you eat things like all the time, like I've got the same breakfast smoothie for the last 11 years, I have not changed the recipe, except when I started food logging and realized, that's a lot more carbs in it than I wanted with that almond milk. And I want to up the protein count. So I didn't really feel like dropping another raw egg in there because my chickens don't give me enough to do 3 a day every day. So I needed to come up with another way. So what did I do? I just reduced the amount of almond milk I put in there and filled it up the rest of the way with water. So now water doesn't count for anything. and I'm getting a little bit extra water in my life, and the distribution of the calories slide back over to protein because I'm still putting the same number of eggs in there. Slurpity slurp. Okay, so that is coming. 2 weeks of tracking your food. It is going to be awesome. Everyone should do it. Everyone will learn something. Then the open starts February 29th, so we will do that. I think what we're going to do, the thoughts in my head on the open is that Friday night becomes the fun night. I think I may do an early Thursday night as well to test it. I got a couple people who said they like to actually push hard for the open. And one way to do that is to kind of see someone else do it. So I was thinking about doing them first, and then like Louis wants to try to shoot to get into the next segment. Louis, if you're listening, they're actually upped it from 10% of the people move on to 25% of the people move on. So it's going to be easier for everyone to catch that. But if he wants to do well, one thing I could do is to do the workout ahead of him. He and I work out very similarly, but he is actually, in all things, he is more fit. He can lift more, he can run faster. He's got more hair on his head. He can grow a bigger beard. I mean, you name it. He's got it all. But when they say 3, 2, 1, go, he goes out too fast. So I've got experience, although he's got a lot of experience too. But he could use me as his pace horse to figure out what he should do. And then if he did that, he could then kick it in at the very end and crush whatever my score was. So he could do better simply by giving him a kind of an outline, a cliff notes beforehand. So the open is coming February 29th. What happens there is every Thursday they release, or for 3 Thursdays, they release a workout, and then we all do them Friday. And then usually Friday we have everybody come in and do it at night. So we'll change the PM classes. Try to get those in the morning to come into the PM as well and make it a kind of a fun, everyone kind of compete event. So compete with each other. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so then the next one that we're going to do on March 1st, and this is going to challenge you guys immensely. It is going to be do not eat sugar for 2 weeks. And if you've ever watched the movie Better Off Dead, this is where 2 weeks comes from, or maybe even... not that one. It's the the Mars one. Oh man, Total Recall, right? How long is she gonna be on the Mars? 2 weeks. So we do these for 2 weeks because 2 weeks is 14 days, and everyone knows 14 days is just close to 42, and 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So 2 weeks is a good number. You guys, it's not too big that you won't do it, and it's not a month because you guys definitely won't do it for a month. So we'll do these 2 week challenges. And it's going to be to not eat sugar. And what does that mean? It means exactly what you think it means. If it's got sugar in it, don't eat it. If it's got sweetener in it, don't eat it. Come up with something else. Explore other tastes. There are pickles. There are olives. There is cinnamon. There is so many other things that you can do that is not sweet. And I want you to explore that. If you then match it up with, you know what, I'm going to track my food again. I'm going to actually use this tool to see what type of sugar I'm getting. Most of the tools, in order to get to the sugar number, you're going to actually have to pay them. And I would say that's totally fine. Pay. I think mynetdiary is $5 a month. So pay for 1 month and actually look at the sugar you're intaking. Look and read the labels and see what you're getting. You're going to be amazed and surprised at what type of sugar is in there. And this is going to be a whole lot of fun for all of us to get into. I hope that not only do you guys pick up the challenge of I'm going to do it anyway, but you also participate in the group effort we have. So I'll set up either maybe in Facebook or maybe just a text string. I don't know yet. It was easier back in the day when Facebook was the only thing, and then we could just tell everyone go to the Facebook group. But I know like half the gym doesn't even have Facebook, so I can't use that. Maybe what I'll do is set up a Google Doc we can all just chat through. But I'll come up with something. It'll be interesting to see what everybody's doing. All right. So after that, the big event that I'm pushing everybody to is something that I love, which is adventure racing. There's Swamp Fox Adventure Race, March 16th, out in Charleston, South Carolina. The terrain is flat, so it is an easy race to get into. I think it's usually either an 8-hour or a 10-hour race. And if you've been doing CrossFit for a year, you can totally do this. Randy did it with me last year. Brad McDonald, who used to CrossFit with us, but then he hasn't done anything. And he's like, Andy, I've just been walking. I'm like, whatever, let's do it. And so even walking, he was able to crush that. The big thing is to make sure you bring your water and some food and your electrolytes, and we can talk about that. So be thinking about an adventure race. You do need a bike, and after that, that's pretty much it. Maybe a hydration pack. The rest of it, they will help us with. On March 30th, we're going to do the St Pati's competition. So it'll be CrossFit Garage people only and more competition style. On July 26th, we have my cousin's wedding. That is Natalie's event. We are all going to show up there and dance the night away. It's going to be awesome. On September 21st, we will have Hot Shots. It's going to change. It's going to be a competition, not just doing the Hot Shot workout. It's going to be a little bit different. Change up the scenario so you guys, shaking up is a lot of fun. And then we've got some other things coming up way far away. But that is what we are doing. And having this written down keeps me on track. Is it a goal? Sure, you can look at it as a goal. If you guys were to map out your 2024 and write down some of your goals, you would find that it's much easier to obtain those goals because you have written it down. So I know this is going to sound weird, but here's one of the things I do. It is super important for me, for me to meet my kids and my wife in the love language that they have got. And I am not very good with remembering that people have emotions. So I put in my calendar at I think it's like 6 a.m. There's a 15-minute block. It says connect with my family in their love language, and I listed out their love language. So they took the 5 love language test. I make them take it. I don't make them. I ask them to take it every year because it does change slightly. And sometimes when you give someone the love language they need, it's the other thing that they need now. So they're like, I really am a gift-giving type of, I need gifts. Then you start giving them gifts. That's satisfied. And then, by gosh darn it, they change to like physical touch. And you're like, okay, I got to do the other one. So yeah, it is a moving target, but you love them and you want that to happen. So I remind myself daily, hey, make sure you tell your family you love them. So I even have on Sunday, every Sunday at like noon, it's a reminder, talk to your wife about the date you're going to take her on this week. And so I asked her, hey, what day can we do date night or date lunch or date something? And sometimes she's like, we can't. I don't have time for it. I'm like, okay, how about we just have coffee together in the house? She's like, that doesn't really count. I'm like, okay, well, now I know. And so at least she knows I am trying. Do I make it happen all the time? No. Sometimes do I forget? Yeah, even with a reminder. But I tell you what, I know who I am. At 50, I have a very good idea of who I am. And if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. You're not out of my heart. You're just not like, you know what I mean? It's just, you're just not there poking the bear, right? Hey, talk to me. So I am quick to forget on accident. I don't mean it. It's just how I am. And but I know how to work around that. And that is to write down my goals and to write them into Google calendar so that it reminds me, hey, Andy, you actually love your family. Make sure you tell them that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's right. I do. Thank you, Google Calendar. And really, it was thank you to myself because I'm the one that put it in there. So guys, put this in your calendar. Remember, these things are coming up. Be thinking about your goals. Be thinking about force ranking your life. What's more important? I would like to make $1 million. Okay, at what expense? Because it comes at an expense. I think I've told you the story before. I wanted to be in politics. And then I said, okay, well, step one is to go to a Woodstock City Council meeting. I went and I was like, I hate this. So I can scratch it off my goal. But was it more important than everything else? No. Had I loved it, could it have been? Yeah, it might have been. And then my family would have to know that, look, you guys come second. That's just how it is. I think that's kind of sad if your family knows you come second. Maybe it's not sad. Maybe it's you get the life that I am giving you with the, like I said, my kid gets to drive to school for 20 minutes. And you're like, wait, why is school so far? I mean, some of you caught that. She goes to Fellowship Christian. We are well off enough, thanks to the blessings of life beforehand and making good investment calls that we can put them in a private school. I don't know if I'd suggest that to everyone. Looking back on what we did, I think what I would rather have done is go to something like King's Academy, where it's 2 days at school and 3 days at home. I think that would be a better fit. I haven't done it, so I don't know. But anyway, if you write down your goals and you know what you're aiming for, then you can bless your family with the cool stuff. I mean, it's great when your kid's like, the extension cord to my iPhone doesn't reach. I am so glad that you have an iPhone and that you have this problem. And they're like, yeah, I guess you're right. So I guess being aware of those blessings and those things is important. But force rank your life. Okay. I think I'm going to actually edit this or stop it right about there. Maybe I'll leave you with this. I do a lot of health and fitness stuff, and there is a point to it. I don't just do this because it's kind of cool and hey, doing a muscle up as a 50-year-old man or climbing a rope, yeah, that's neat. I do this because of my why. If you don't have a why yet, then you need to find one. You need to talk to me. I will help you find one. But my why is I want to be healthy and fit enough to coach my kids in soccer. Now, do I really want to coach them in soccer? No. Do I really care about the sports aspect of it? No. What does it really boil down to? It's just a sexy statement to say that I want to be an active grandparent. I want to be involved in their lives. I want my kids to be able to say, hey, Grandpa, you want to go up Stone Mountain tonight or today? I'm like, yes, of course I do. Let's go. Not, well, shoot, let me check to see if my statins are all okay and I've got my blood pressure medicine and hold on, I got to put a colostomy bag on and I got to make sure I have my diaper on. And, I don't want any of that stuff. I want to be super active. Man, I want to go out. Also, I want to go out in a blaze of glory. I want the end to be spectacular. Hey, he was 95 years old building wells in Africa. I don't know, whatever, right? And the well collapsed on him. Man, thank you. That is awesome. What a way to go out. Not, he just sort of, he ate poorly, had diabetes and died. I mean, that is horrible, especially when you can fix that stuff on your own. Yes, it is hard. Man, you have got to choose your hard. Being obese is hard. It sucks. Being fit is hard. It does not suck. It is great to be fit. I love being able to do the stuff that I do at a drop of a hat. Be fit. Is it possible for anybody to do this? Hell yeah, it is possible. I am living proof. I've got 16 years of CrossFit under my belt. Many people will say, you know what? I'm going to do my next podcast. Maybe I'll do it in the car. Is CrossFit going to hurt me? I'm going to do a whole thing on that. No, CrossFit will not hurt you. What hurts you is you being stupid. So don't do stupid stuff. Being stupid gets you hurt. CrossFit cannot get you hurt. CrossFit is constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity. How is that going to hurt you? Oh, it's a high intensity. Now, that is relative. Everybody here knows it's form before weight, weight before speed. Speed is the intensity. You are not going to go with intensity until you've gotten the form hacked out. This is what your coaches are for. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. I want to be harder to kill. I want you guys to be harder to kill. I want you guys to live a great life. I want you to reach your goals. Now, here's the bad thing. Sometimes I had a great conversation with Paul, and he's like, man, I'm going through this cool doctor thingy, and I love it, Paul. I wish you would do a podcast with me on it. It is super fascinating. Anyway, he said these high-paid doctors are saying if you get, once you get past a 10-minute workout with intensity, there's diminishing returns. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been saying that for years. And he looked at me like, you have not been saying that for years. I'm like, okay, valid. I've tried my best to say that for many years. CrossFit rides in the 8 to 12-minute workout. Thank you for calling me out, Paul. I'm going to say it right here. CrossFit's main time domain is that 8 to 12 minutes. If you're going hard and fast for 8 to 12 minutes, moving below parallel, lifting something heavy, you are on the right track. Sometimes you're going to go do a 10K. Sometimes you're only doing your max deadlift or whatever, right? Or heavy sets. But the majority is couplets and triplets in the 8 to 12 minute time domain. If you are doing that, you are going to get fit. I will promise you, if you come 4 to 5 days a week, some of those days you're hitting it, other days are move days, and some days I'm just rowing, and you're doing 8 to 12 minutes of intense workout and listening to your coach, you are going to be healthier and fitter. All your biometric numbers are going to go in the right direction. Do this with me. I've said this before. Join the gym. If you come 4 days a week, listen to your coach, talk to Coach Laura about health and fit or nutrition, and you're not fitter a year from now, I will double your money back. I mean, that's easy. That's a no-brainer. It's not going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen that you're going to get healthy and fit. I will never pay anybody back. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of Earth. Okay, so I do this to be harder to kill. I just had a doctor's visit, and he drew my blood, and he's like, yeah, your blood looks a little wonky. Let's do another one. It's because I don't eat sugar. So my fasting glucose was up, but I literally don't eat sugar. So we did the second test, and he's like, yeah, you're fine. Then he said, hey, you have higher the higher fat, whatever, because I eat a lot of fat, but I don't eat the bad fat. So he's like, yeah, let's just do the other thing, and I'll put it under a microscope and look. And he's like, yeah, look, it's not the tiny little I'm going to kill you parts. You're fine. And I'm like, yes, that's right, I'm fine. And so the biggest news was my testosterone number has doubled since doing, or actually, I don't know why, since whatever, but it has doubled. So I'm up to 900 units, whatever that measurement is. And so just keep doing what we're doing. And I don't eat sugar. I would love to get back to a place where I can eat the bread that my wife makes from Breadbeckers and see if it still triggers my sweet tooth or not. But that's it. So if you guys watch me at the gym, I typically am in there 5 days a week. Well, once soccer is over, I'll be in there 5 days a week. And if I'm in there 5 days a week, I don't usually do the extra stuff we put in there. We realize that most of you guys do not come 5 days a week. Most of our guys are 3 days to 4 days. That's totally fine. At least you're in there and you're doing something. But we program extra to help you catch the things you might have missed. So a really good one that fit nicely was, hey, we're doing hang power cleans or hang power snatches anyway. You got to warm up. Let's do some heavy hang power snatches. So that's going to give you some heavy work. Granted, it's skilled, so it may not be that heavy, but it does put some weight on you. And it's great to move some heavy weight, right? What's the old joke? What do we do for strength? We lift heavy stuff. What do we do for cardio? We lift heavy stuff quickly. And that's not bad. So if you watch what I'm doing, though, if I'm coming 5 days a week, which is usual, I will not do the extra stuff that even I am okay programming, because I've been there 5 days a week. I already hit everything. If you're coming, then you don't. And so what I'll do is I'll take the extra time, if there's time left over, and do more stretching and rolling, because I know at 50, I need to be stretching and rolling and mobilizing. So I have got my routine that I have down. It takes me about 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more. And I wish you guys would roll out more with me. Some of you guys, shout out to Rebecca and Kate, way to go, whoop, whoop. You guys do it all the time and I love it. You guys even practice extra stuff. You make me happy. So I will intentionally throw in a long day somewhere if it's not coming up, because I do these adventure races, and of course they're long. It's like 10, 12 hours. Evie and I are, by the time you listen to it, we would have done it. But they bumped our 10-hour race up to a 24-hour race. And I was like, do you want to do it? And she's like, Dad, hold my beer. I'm like, that's funny, but don't say that. And so we're doing it anyway. And she's like, we can just do 10 hours, right? I'm like, actually, that's true. We can just do 10 hours and then come home. So I do throw in some long distance here and there, because I want to make sure my feet and my gear are okay. And sometimes I'll throw in bike days because it's biking, so I need to bike some. I'm also very intentional about what I'm putting into my body, and it took time and routine, but once I got that down, it's not that hard to keep it going. So I would recommend to every one of you guys, start logging. And I was a huge boo-hooer on logging. I mean, that's for people who need it, but you know what I just realized is, dang it, everybody needs it. And Laura was right this whole time. Even I would learn something. I was too cocky, and I admit it. I was too cocky. I was like, I've got this stuff nailed down. I don't even eat sugar. Ha! If only you were half the sugar eater I was sugar eating, whatever. It's not true. Log your food. I realized some of the stuff I was doing was stupid, and I mean, it's hard to get out of stupid when you're talking to yourself. You're just going to convince yourself that it's okay. Anyway, I want you guys to be harder to kill, to live that good life, live it long, to have a healthy respect for your fitness and your food, as well as, I mean, we talk finances, but I think the message of this story today is know who you are, know what you value, have that written down, be okay with the imbalance that your balanced life provides. So people talk about a work-life balance. It just depends. What does that balance look like? If you think it's 50-50, you're wrong. It is not 50-50. That would be you're working 12 hours a day and you're living 12 hours a day. That's just not right. If you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to start up the next business, next, I don't know, Twitter or whatever, your work-life balance is going to be weird. It's going to be super heavy on the work and tiny on the life. And that is your work-life balance. If you mean you want them balanced and even, that is super hard to do and probably never going to happen. So talk to somebody else about your goals. Talk to somebody like me who maybe has a little bit more life under their belt and can just be a sounding board because I care. I'm happy to help. I want you guys to be the best you can be, not just for you, but for your family. When you are better and healthier and fitter, then you're better for everybody else. The number of people who've done this podcast with me and said, what this hour in the gym gives me is a clarity in my brain. It gives me headspace. It makes my my heart, whatever, better. It's of course getting you fit, but they bring up their mind and their heart. And so just be thinking about that. Guys, we are here for you. I am here for you. If you're at the gym, I am here for you. Call me, text me. You've got my number. I text you guys all the time. I am better on if you text me and then call me next because I'm out a lot. My phone's always on silent. But you can also hit me on email. If you really want me to get something done, send me an email and I can start and come back to it later. I don't know how to star a text, so if I don't do a text right away, or if I have my car read it to me while I'm driving, and I will forget to do whatever I'm supposed to do. So email me if you need me to do it. But if you're not a member and you want to be a member and you're in Woodstock, then that's easy. Coach Jamie will take you through our no sweat intro. You can find us at CrossFitGarage.com. You can fill out the little form. It's just, hey, I'd like to set up a no sweat intro. It'll get you on our mailing list. You can think about it. Not mailing, no one mails anything. It'll get you on our email list. And you can think about it. You can listen to podcasts. You can, take your time. We're in no rush. We've been here for 16 years. We'll be here for another 16. I've got 3 of my kids with their CrossFit Level 1 licenses. So if they move back to the Woodstock area once they're done with college, then they will be a part of this gym, making this gym nearly indestructible. They'll be here forever, and you'll be here forever. So we will help you and your family get fit. If it's during the holidays and you're like, well, I can't make it in the gym, I've got friends and family here, just let me know. I'll do a class just for you and your friends and family. I'm going to tailor it down so they don't go crazy, but I will totally help them. Guys, if you're not in the area and you want help, that is stretching me a bit further, but I will throw it out there that I will help you. I've already talked to a couple of you guys that are not local, and I am happy to do it. Probably what I'll do, like I did for the other ones, is we'll do a quick, hey, let's drill down real quick and see where we're at. And then can we find you a gym that'll give you the support that you need locally? Sometimes the answer is yes. A couple of you, it's been no. And I'm still happy to help you guys. I want you, if nobody else is out there, yeah, give me a call. I'm in Woodstock. It's nowhere great. It's nowhere famous. It's just a little town in Georgia. But you have help and support here. Guys, take care. Pass this on to someone who needs it. Be ready for 2024. It's going to be an awesome year. And as always, San Dimas High School football rules.